Welcome everyone. Sneak peek of the upcoming playlist or preface. Make sure that you subscribe and click the bell so that you receive notifications and you don't miss any of the videos forthcoming. The Road to the Moon, a great occult story by Dr. George Washington Carey. And this story contains the omitted part of the original manuscripts. The following are the editorial notes from the editor Thomas W. Woodrow. This story contains the following allegations and supposed facts. He says, number 1, the planet on which we live is Mother Earth and mother to all planets. Quote, all planets are born of sexual union of the sun and the earth, end quote. 2, the moon is a baby planet in the period of gestation and hasn't been born yet, still connected to the mother, Earth, by the umbilical cord, said to be the road to the moon, and recognized by astronomers as a magnetic or electric cord which holds moon to Earth fast with one side only exposed to view. 3, the period of gestation of the planet is 26,400 years old, during which time the solar system swings around the mighty circle of the zodiac, thus remaining in each of the 12 signs for 2,200 years. And when Earth enters the sign of Scorpio, which represents the sexual functions of the grand man of heaven, she gives birth to a new planet. 4, the moon is the 8th planet to be born and will not break the umbilical cord and become free until about the year 1945. Quote, for 26,000 years the baby planet is nourished in the womb of Earth, and then comes a cataclysmic shock that throws the new world 240,000 miles into space and also tips the Earth to a different angle, end quote. 5, there are 4 more planets yet to be born, making 12 in all, 1 for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac. 6, the womb of the Earth is located at the South Pole and is 2,000 miles in diameter. The author of the story claims to have gone there and made the journey to the moon on the cord which connects moon to Earth, which he is calling, quote, road to the moon, end quote. Please note, in the story the author gives precise statement of his exact location on the shore of the Weddell Sea, South Pole, where he wrote the account of his journey from that place to moon. 7, the manuscript was written as claimed by the author at the South Pole and kept until he found the person who was appointed to give the story to publication, that person having the same mystical birthday as his own, September the 7th. And Dr. Carey being born on September 7th, thus the story was placed into his hands. And it is a peculiar fact that on September 7th following, the author disappeared suddenly and mysteriously from mortal sight. No one saw him or knew where he went. He claimed to know the process of transmuting the physical body into the spiritual. This story unfolds during the summer of 1904, and these are only a few of the startling allegations within the story. The editor says, we give this story without implying that we believe it or alleging that we deny it. There are truths that cannot be apprehended and declared by the normal mind, and can only be revealed through what might be called the supernormal rather than the abnormal mind. We know so very little of the moon that we are not prepared to deny the story. From what little we can judge by appearance and from what we know of the spiritual phenomena and laws, we accept that the story is interesting and worthy of consideration. Now the asterisk here means that this was given by Dr. Carey after the editor received the initial story. So it says, "The moon is attached to the Earth by a magnetic cord," asserts Hicks, the great astronomer, and other scientists and astronomers. It is contended that this accounts for the moon being held with only one side exposed to view. And Dr. Carey's note. The editor goes on and says, "Please read the following story without prejudice or prejudgment, and let us know what you think of it." End of editor's notes. Reader's note, that's me. Not to immediately discount this story before I even start uploading portions to a playlist, but H.P. Blavatsky gave a very similar theory of the Earth and the Moon attached by an umbilical cord, which is in, I believe, the second edition of The Secret Doctrine. That was published 13 years before this author's, quote, revelations. And H.P. says that the Earth is the child, and in a sense the reincarnation of the Moon. Before this Earth existed, our human family was evolving up through the various kingdoms of nature on another planetary chain which was living and very vital and active. Then it came to the end of its cycle, and one by one, each of those 7 globes went out like a light bulb and switched off, and then sent their principles and energies into another point in space, which eventually resulted in the formation of a new planetary chain, the successor of the old one. She says that the new one is our Earth, and that the old one is what we call our moon, or the moon chain, the lunar chain, which is effectively now just a corpse and is gradually shrinking and will eventually disappear and disintegrate altogether. And I have to agree with her. If we look at the Earth, it is beautiful, vibrant, full color life. And if we look at the moon, it does look dead. Also, if you look at it really close, it does look like there's a belly button there. And it looks like there's stretch marks all around that belly button. It literally does, to me anyway, look like a huge pregnant belly, but not to be morbid, but like a dead woman who did not give birth. Huge, distended, pregnant womb, stretch marks everywhere, but dead. So, although I believe H.P.'s theory to be the correct or the more feasible one, I do still think that the information disclosed within the story has many hidden truths, and thus take a few grains of salt, i.e. wisdom, while you decide what you believe is the truth within this story. It's not just Blavatsky alone. It's actually where the author said that he received this information, which makes me disagree with it. But we'll get into that later on when that part of the story comes up. So that's it. End of the preface, end of the sneak peek, the preview. Subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss any of the videos that are coming out in the playlist. Please support the channel in new growth. Give the video a thumbs up, please, please, pretty please. Share on your own social media platform. Comment below. And if you're able, you can donate with the links provided for it as well. Love yourselves, you guys, and love each other unconditionally. The first video in the series should be out in 24, 48 hours. Okay. Peace.